That's right. That's right. Y'all know what that sound means. That means that we are back in the building. JV Wins Dogon SS. We are here for another edition of the Conscious Approach channel on YouTube. Much appreciation to everybody out there who's been showing their support, hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, leaving those comments, letting us know what you think about the commentary and all of our content as we continue to kick this logical content. Before we get things started, as always, I want to preface by saying check us out on Spotify, check us out on Amazon Music, and check us out on Apple Podcasts. We are now available in all of those places where you get your podcasts. So if you are not in position to check us out on YouTube, if you are not in position to get the video version of what we like to do here, check us out audio style. Hit us up, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. We are there live and in effect. So just trying to be any and everywhere possible for everybody who likes to be able to engage with the content. Also, check out the website, consciousapproach.com, and check out the Instagram page at Conapproach, CONAPPROACH. TikTok page is on the way. I know I keep saying that, but I'm a man of my word. It will happen eventually. Trust me. Trust me. So yeah, man, major shouts out to everybody who has been supporting us along the way. And if this is your first time checking us out and you have not already done so, man, hit that subscribe button, like this video. We certainly appreciate it if you are so inclined, and leave us a comment, man. Let us know what you think we went right or wrong with any of our talking points in any of our videos. We don't need you to agree with us. We just like it for you to be constructive. That's the only requirement. Be constructive when you are calling me a moron. Don't just say I'm a moron. Tell me why I'm a moron. But with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get things kicked off. First thing that we are going to discuss today is an interesting video that went viral concerning NBA star Anthony Edwards. So for anyone who has not seen this, there was a video that went viral on social media of a mother telling her son that she will not buy him a pair of Anthony Edwards sneakers because he does not take care of his daughters. She's very adamant that, her son should pick a pair of Kobe shoes instead, or a pair of Steph Curry shoes, because those guys take care of their kids, they take care of their daughters, they set better examples. So she'll buy her son a pair of those guys' shoes, but Anthony Edwards is out of the question because he does not take care of his kids. Somewhat to come to his defense, a woman who shares a child with Anthony Edwards spoke out in response to that, saying that the mother is blowing things out of proportion and that Anthony Edwards isn't the deadbeat that the mother in the video proclaims him to be. But more or less, this is just about the mother making that initial video in the first place, basically saying, hey, listen, son, we cool on this side with several pairs of shoes, but when it comes to Anthony Edwards, we ain't rocking like that because he's a deadbeat, essentially, is what she said. So I think my link here is frozen, my tab. So let me back out and then reopen it and share it again with internet stuff. So we all know that happens sometimes, folks.
You know how I go.
Yeah. So let me get rid of that ugly ad. All right. Okay. So this says Aisha Howard has shocking response to mom refusing to buy son Anthony Edwards shoes. Recently, one mother went viral for refusing to buy her son a pair of Anthony Edwards sneakers. The mother told the boy to put them back because he don't take care of his kids, indicating that she doesn't approve of the athlete's personal life. Ja Morant takes care of his daughter. Kobe Bryant, he's a great dad, even in the afterlife, she added. As the video continues to make its rounds online, one of the mothers of Edwards' children, Aisha Howard, has weighed in. Shockingly, she came to his defense. I'm not sure if this child knows of Anthony's personal issues, and if he doesn't, I think it's unfair to take away the part of Anthony that he does more, which is obviously his basketball talent, she told the Shade Room. Anthony is a great player, but the mother is in control of what she supports from a moral woman standpoint. So I guess what Howard is saying is, if the kid knows no better, don't take his enjoyment of Anthony Edwards as a basketball player away from him by denying him the shoes, I guess is what she was trying to say there. Howard's remarks arrived just a few days after she took her Instagram story to expose Edwards for allegedly pursuing her for years. I don't normally out my DMs, but listen, please stop the trapped in the one night stand narrative. This man started pursuing me back in 2022 and literally did not stop pursuing me until he got me and Aubrey, she wrote. He did all of the choosing. Her post featured a screenshot of a DM in which Edwards asked her where you at. So I believe there's a video here. Um, so yeah, here is the video in question of the mother not wanting to buy her son a pair of Anthony Edwards sneakers because he quote doesn't take care of his kids.
Yeah, put them back because he don't take care of his kids. Makes sense, right? Get somebody else like John Morant. He take care of his daughter. Kobe Bryant. Move, Jelani. John Morant. Yeah, Kobe Bryant. He's a great dad, even after life.
All right, so there you go. So that's pretty much what went viral. And this Aisha Howard woman who has one of Edward's kids basically defending him, saying if the kid knows no better, why take that away from him? Now, I don't know about you, bro, but I think the production of that video seemed a little staged to me. But I'll go ahead and let you give your thoughts on what you think about this video that made its rounds on the interwebs.
Hey man, you started with a tinfoil hat yourself, bro. I like it. Yeah, man. That kid was definitely acting like he was in the Tyler Perry movie. So you know what I'm saying? It was a bit of a put on there, but mama wanted to convey a message. She was like, hey, this probably really happened, but she was like, let's get this for the gram. Let's get this for the gram because I'm pretty sure he wanted Edward shoes, man.
Yeah.
So here's the thing with all of this. First of all, let me start off with this baby mama who, as the article mentioned, was railing on this guy not too long ago, just last month.
Yeah.
Taking him to town, talking about how he's trash, how he ain't this, how he ain't that, how he wanted to unalive the baby when
Right.
it was in its blastocyst stage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden she wants to come to defense. But I understand why. Because that purchase or lack thereof is affecting her bottom line. And so she sees that money in the long run. You know what I'm saying? So by people not wanting to partake or purchase any of his gear, memorabilia, or merch, that affects her trip to Barbados or Belize. So she definitely was like, "Hey, y'all need to calm down." But it's like, why weren't you thinking like that when you wanted to air them out last month? Unless that was for clout.
Right.
So this lady here, of course, what else do you expect from a BBL model? You know what I'm saying? The contradictions galore. No ground to stand on, no honor. It's just what's the latest check. So of course she would say that and come to the defense in that regard. It's not like she really cares about this kid's the kid looks up to or any of that stuff. She's concerned about her money. Now when it comes to the mama not wanting to do that and setting the precedent, setting the standard in the household, I don't have a problem with that either. Now typically you wouldn't, that's not something that you would hear, as far as a parenting thing. But we need parents to do more standing on business when it comes to having a moral standard in the house. So if there is a situation where it's like, hey, we're not going to support X, Y, or Z because of ABC, I'm all about that, whether I agree with it or not. It's still a standard being set. That's better than willy nilly and anybody anything goes. So that I do commend that. So I do think that's I think that's awesome. So hopefully she maintains the same energy across the board. Hopefully this kid isn't watching any salacious television, any outrageous social media posts, or any deplorable and degrading music. So if this is going on across the board, where mom's like, no, we can't listen to that guy. Why? Because he's talking about selling drugs. He's talking about unaliving people in this community. We don't do that, And it's like, okay, well, Then this lady here is just she's doing a great job parenting, you know. So hopefully the energy is maintained. Hopefully this wasn't just for the clout. Hopefully this isn't her clap back at her baby daddy. Hopefully this was something that she's actually trying to build something and build a standard. And her posting it online wasn't for clout. It was to show other parents on how to parent. But what are your thoughts, sir, on Anthony Edwards getting ousted by that mother, not allowing her son to get those shoes, and Anthony, Edwards' baby mama having something to say about it? What are your thoughts about all of it?
Yeah, I think the baby mama is trying to save face so that she can be in the best possible child support position that she can be.
Yeah,
You know, so it's whatever. It's whatever with these slores of the evening who essentially are for sale to the highest bidder. They, as far as I'm concerned, have no credibility whatsoever and ought not to ever be listened to. If you truly cared about the well-being of children in terms of the influence that a parental figure has over them, then as you said, you would not have gone on this diatribe publicly bashing the father of your child, um, because those are matters of public record. They'll live in infamy on the internet for forever.
Exactly.
So eventually your child is going to become old enough to see these things and is going to wonder why you were speaking that way about their father during this period in time. And good luck explaining why you chose to stick up for this mother here, but didn't choose to stick up for your own family unit while you were bashing him, publicly on social media. Because you're not going to be able to just tell your kid the truth, which is I wanted to make sure that those child support checks continue to come in abundance, and the best way for me to do that is to show that I am the fittest parent possible, so that I can maintain sole custody and it's best for me to not jeopardize that by exhibiting unhinged behavior online. That's my opinion. That's why I think she chose to become more civil. Because as you put it, not too long ago, she was the complete opposite of civil towards this dude. So, where's the truth in that matter? You can make your own mind up when it comes to that. With respect to the mother who made the video, yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. I don't have a problem with principled people. I've said that before on this channel. I think the world will be a better place if people live with principles. I think, society is off balance largely because people are being sold on the idea rather effectively that living a life devoid of principles means that you're living your best life. So don't be all hung up or caught up or held back, held down by ridiculous things like morals and ethics and standards. Just let all that stuff go and YOLO, do whatever you want, because that's the kind of world that we envision ourselves living in, one in which everyone can do whatever they want and aren't necessarily being tethered by these unnecessarily stringent things like morals and standards and ethics. So I always will respect a person who lives a principled existence. And there is perhaps no category of human that should live a principled existence on this earth more than a parent. I think parents, more than anyone else, have a responsibility to be principled because you want to set the best possible example for your kid. In saying that, I don't have a problem with this, other than the fact that I feel as though this was a production. Like, I feel like she went into this with a plan. Now, I do think that the kid probably did want a pair of those shoes, but I think what likely happened is off camera, she was like, no, you're not getting those shoes, but let's make this video and explain why, So that's the only thing about it that's a little cringe to me, but I can get over that because I can respect where she's coming from. If she feels a certain type of way about men who are not as involved in the daily lives of their children as she believes they should be, and so she chooses not to monetarily support any individuals that she feels as though are an infraction upon those beliefs, I have no problem with that. Everybody is entitled to live in accordance with whatever principles or ethics are most important to them. But as you put it, I hope she's consistent across the board. And I really hope that when they're at home and she's telling her son, you cannot have Anthony Edwards shoes, that there isn't drill music playing in the background.
Yeah, exactly.
You're absolutely right on that. That we are 100% lock and step on that. I hope that when she's telling her kid, you can't have Anthony Edwards shoes, that she didn't have to pause on her DVR the episode of Power Raising Canaan that she's watching while she's telling her kid this. For real. Like I hope she isn't watching, I hope she doesn't let her kid, peruse the internet on TikTok looking at suggestive social media content. Be consistent across the board, because as far as I'm concerned, refusing to allow your kid to wear Anthony Edwards' sneakers is nothing if he can still listen to whatever music he wants, watch whatever TV shows he wants, and watch whatever movies he wants, and follow whatever Instagram slore online he wants.
Amen.
So I sincerely hope for her sake that she is consistent in that regard, because if you eliminate one form of mind control but allow all the other forms of mind control, you're really not doing much.
Hey man, I agree, bro. So we'll see what happens with Anthony Edwards and his baby mama, man, because this is an interesting situation now that she's coming to bat for this, man. But and it's in terms of this thing going viral, man. Yeah, I saw a lot of people weighing in on it. Um, you brought it to my attention. I didn't really know about this situation. But yeah, man, it seems like the internet is also agreeing, at least from what I saw, that the mom was, putting that boy up on principles and getting him in line. But yeah, man, there's so much stuff going on nowadays with the music, the TV shows, and everything in between, that there's tons of deadbeats out there. So yeah, just maintain the same energy. That's pretty much my message to anybody that's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that too. I'm gonna do that too. I ain't gonna buy anything else shoes because that's okay. Well, yeah, that's like you said, man. Ghost Book 11. Don't watch that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be watching that. Oh, that's my guilty pleasure. Or don't have the kids exposed to that stuff. If they listen to Lil Baby and I don't know who else they listen to, NBA Young Boys,
Yeah, 21 Savage.
21 NLE Chopper.
Yeah.
Like you gotta listen to these crazy people online, man. So hopefully the energy's maintained. Yeah, man. I think we're on par with this one, man. Yeah, parenting is a difficult dynamic. You got to be all the way in on this thing.
Yeah.
And so you can't leave one stone unturned. So yeah, she had that one stone flipped over. That's great. Just flip over the rest.
Yeah, absolutely. And there really is no difference. Like, at least to me, I don't really see the difference between consuming suggestive content and paying, putting, or buying a pair of shoes from an athlete that you feel represents beliefs and morals and ethics that are opposed to your own. I don't really see the difference. Like, okay, yeah, you're not directly spending your money whenever you're streaming a show or watching that movie or listening to that music, but your metrics and your contribution to the algorithm ultimately net the ultimate net effect of all of that activity and behavior is money going somewhere.
Mhm.
And it's money funding some kind of a machine and some kind of an operation, and it's money that does positively impact the bottom line of some individual. So if you're going to take it that far to where you don't want Anthony Edwards shoes on the foot of your kid because he's a deadbeat in your eyes, it's not really a far cry to say also you need to make sure that your son's not listening to suggestive music, because it's debatable. It's debatable how much streaming revenue does constitute to an artist's income when it comes to their music. We can debate that all day, but they are making something off that.
Hmm.
So as far as I'm concerned, like I said, I really don't see a difference between allowing your kid or not to wear Anthony Edwards sneakers, but still allowing him unlimited access to a Spotify account where he can stream whatever music he wants 24/7. Like to me, there's no difference. It's still funding the same, it's still creating an environment in which you can potentially expose your kid, particularly in a delicate mental developmental period,
Hmm.
to particular forms of messaging that can lead him down a path that you might determine is less than desirable. Like to me, it's all the same thing. So
Exactly.
yeah, so I'll say if one is not okay, then the rest of it is not okay.
Hmm.
Now, your kid becomes an adult. Obviously, he can make his own decisions, but when he's under your care and he's your responsibility, if the shoes don't go, then the music also doesn't go, and the weird social media follows also don't go. All of it has to go, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I just hope that she's staying her and others like her are staying consistent across the board, because it's like a terror cell, or that the Hydra monster. You cut off one head and two more grow in its place.
Hmm.
So you can refuse your kid Anthony Edwards shoes if you so choose, but there's just going to be two other forms of mind control that grow in place of that. That's still going to steer him down a path that you might not want him to go. So people just need to keep that in mind. It's all the same. Stop thinking that just because it's entertainment or TV or music or movies that it doesn't have the same impact or doesn't symbolize the same thing. It does.
Yeah, yeah, man. And so, yeah, my thing wasn't so much and I hear your point about the bottom line because they're still getting paid
Well,
somehow.
it's just the point of the reason why I bring that up is because I would imagine
Mm-hmm.
someone who wants to say that it's different would bring up the money. Well, I'm not, I'm not paying 50 cent whenever I watch Power. Well,
Uh,
you kind of are, I'm not paying, I'm paying Anthony Edwards when I buy that shoe, but I'm not paying 50 cent when I watch Power. It's more close to the same thing than you realize. So that's the only reason why I brought that up.
no, 100. And because I wasn't really thinking about that, but I hear that point. And but yeah, mine was more or less the influence. So yeah, she doesn't want her son to wear those shoes because the guys, she says that he's not taking care of his kids. But and my point was like the music or the suggestive stuff, as you mentioned, making him an irresponsible man later in life.
Yeah.
So it was like, hey, I thought I prevented you from buying those shoes. I thought you weren't going to be like this. How is this possible? And it's like, oh well, you allowed everything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and everything else is what made Anthony Edwards the way he is. I'm sure Anthony Edwards isn't the way he is because he was wearing shoes from guys that were being irresponsible. I think it was because of all of this other things that was going on, either within his community or within the media he consumes. So yeah, man. So I appreciate it. I'm not trying to bash her, but yeah, I just would like to see this uniform. So
Yeah. Facts.
yeah.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, shouts out to Anthony Edwards, man. Heck of a basketball player, but yeah, he does seem a bit on the future. He seems to be a bit on the future timeline when it comes to women. So,
Get
uh,
right, bro. Get
yeah,
well, man.
yeah. Good luck with that, bro, because you're gonna need every bit of that contract money.
Sheesh.